Alright, let's do some event previewing. Dawn of Strife. Dissidia of Final Fantasy. Seen by many as like a 6th festival banner, since it's the first event banner that has an awakening on it. I've got a new little format going for event pages. I'll go over it a bit. But to start out, we actually have a new ability. It's not just banners for this event. It's just Wicked Press. One single target, physical dark attack that can break the damage cap up to 100k. The damage multiplier increasing with the amount of heavy charges that you do. And it resets heavy charges. It is just a carbon copy of our current press for Earth. And basically performs the same function. It has a very, very, very slightly less multiplier than the 7-hit. But its damage cap is 100k, while the 7-hit's damage cap is 70k. Applications for this ability would be for breaking the damage cap if you're unable to break the damage cap with the other ability. And as far as I know, currently the only person that can break the damage cap with the 7-hit heavy ability is... Or 8, sorry. 8, you're right. The 8-hit ability is Cloud. And that will be the case until a Dark Heavy character gets an awakening. So this is for characters like Garland and Gabranth, who have dark, heavy focused things. Or just Garland's with his chain. If you need something for him to do, it helps. Because the damage reduction rage mode on Lakshmi is actually quite powerful. So a lot of people that are unable to break the cap regularly with their teams are going to find this to be just as useful as the Earth one is for Quetzalcoatl. So this is a great ability. Was hoping it would come out during the festival. But here it is. A little late, but better late than never. So the format I've got going here, I'm actually going to post this link in chat if anyone wants to take a look at it for themselves. Is anything that's new on a banner is going to be have a border and be bold-faced. There's nothing new on the second banner. It's an okay banner, but I think what most people are going to have their eyes on is the first one. Because it has Sephiroth's Awakening. And by mousing over on desktop or tapping on anything new, it'll open up and show exactly what it is that this thing does. And also a link to the Soul Break animation video. This is to keep it clean. What I didn't like about my previous format on these pages was... Actually, you know what? Get out of here. What I didn't like about the previous format on these pages is that everything was already collapsed. And it made it hard to look at what exactly was on the banner. This way, it doesn't. You get to see it this way if you want to see like just the 14 relics on the banner. If you want, detailed stuff, which, kind of messes up the screen, well, that's fine because it only works for one thing at a time. Spent all of today, or all of yesterday, learning how to do this. Anyway, first off, we have Sephiroth's Awakening. And I will play the animation videos too. 15 single target, dark, non-elemental, and dark, awoken darkness, plus 500 soul break points, and damage cap break up to 20k. What Awakenings do? It's the same thing for every single one. For 15 seconds, all X abilities have infinite uses, automatically cast twice, and have their damage increased by 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30% damage, depending on their rank. So the higher rank, the more damage bonus you get. This is true for everything except for Kain's Awakening. But anyway, this is obviously, like we're going to find out in the future with Cloud's Awakening, this is obviously meant to be used with other soul breaks. Sephiroth's USB 2 comes to mind, his USB 1 comes to mind. Both are very complementary soul breaks. That's why his USB 1 and USB 2 work so well together. Because his USB 1 is the only way he gets Endark stacking. And his USB 2 can actually give him damage cap break up to 100k. So that's also pretty nice. Because sometimes 20k is just not enough. I don't think I'm gonna pull. I haven't 100% committed to not pulling. Well, yes, it is. Or no, it's not too good to pass because it's gonna come back. So you're not actually passing it. And that's the way you should look at everything that happens in this game, is nothing is need to get at the time. Nothing. The game wants to make you think like it is, but it's not. The stronger one stays. Actually, I think it's kind of like having instacast and quick cast on your character at the same time. The stronger one, they both act at the same time, but you don't see the effect of the smaller one because the stronger one is working at the same time. Yeah, except Disney, well, but I would say that nothing in Disney or nothing in Kingdom Hearts was useful or must pull for, because it's not like what the Kingdom Hearts stuff did is stuff that's unavailable elsewhere in the game. Nothing there was special. And that's why I suggested or advised skipping it. So plus 500 soul break points, that's enough for another whole soul break. So you can cast it immediately after. And honestly, I think most of the time, you're probably going to want to cast USB 1. Because you've already got the damage cap break up to 20k. What you want to do instead of getting the USB 2 up, the USB 2 would work fine. I just feel like the USB 1 would be better, because it does a better job at increasing your damage output across all attacks, rather than the 50% crit that you get from his USB 2. It's probably a toss-up, whatever. Use one of his soul breaks with it. You won't be unhappy. So that's Sephiroth's Awakening. It's really good. Everything else on here, and there are many. What do we got? We only have 6 stars. Golbez is USB 2. Yes, you instantly get enough. Golbez's USB 2 is 10 single target magical dark null elemental. User takes damage equal to 99% of current HP and dark stone skin 100%. This is very similar to his brother's USB, Dark Cecil. The big difference between Dark Cecil's USB and Golbez's USB 2 is that Golbez gets a finisher, and Dark Cecil gets, I believe, high quick cast. I think that's the difference. Oh, will it? Well, that's good to know. I didn't know that. I thought that was. I guess that makes sense. I've never had the chance to see because Sephiroth is always not ever dual casted, so I've always figured that it was linked to ability usage and not dual casting. But yeah, if his 30% dark buff on his USB 2 procs every single turn because of all the ability casting that he does with his awakening, then never mind, his USB 2 is awesome. Yeah. Never mind. Because that 30% damage boost is significant. Oh, only regular quick cast? Okay. I'm sure about that. I could have swore it was high. But anyway, he automatically dual cast darkness abilities. This is not an ability double. He just simply dual casts. So what you're really hoping to do here is cast this, have 100% stone skin, and then use abilities enough times where you can either heal yourself with Dire Heal to remedy this situation right here. User takes damage equal to 99% of his current HP. Or you just cast enough during the 100% stone skin to re-up it. So you don't have to worry about dying. I think with Golbez, because he's not automatically quick casting, it's probably going to lean more towards at least using Dire Heal once. So you're not on the edge of death. But it's still a really good USB because, 100% dual cast is always nice. It's like a mini awakening. So about time Golbez gets a good soul break. His USB 1 is, not so great. Ultimacia USB 2, instantaneous. 10 single target, magical, wind, dark attacks. Ooh, that's going to be annoying. I need to take my hand away from the mouse when I'm doing this. Defense resistance mine, minus 40% to target, quick cast, and brave mode. That is an important debuff. It is the only debuff of its kind in the entire game, and it cancels out some pretty important debuffs. Okay, there we go. I thought it was high quick cast. That was for Dark Cecil's USB. Defense resistance mind is an important debuff because of the way debuffs work. By themselves, unless you're getting a crash level debuff, which is minus 70%, they don't do that much. But if they are used to cancel out an exactly configured buff on the other side, that's a completely different story. So as debuffs, they're 30% effective. So this does less than 10% minus of these stats. Sorry, like 12%, 12.5%, something like that. 13, whatever. Anyway, it's not that great. But if you're canceling out a buff, then it's a completely different matter because it takes away all of the buff. So, okay, it's only a 13% debuff, but if you take away, say, Sildra's defense resistance mine buff, that's a 13% debuff, and you've wiped out Sildra's 100% buff at the same time. I can show you what I mean by this. Shoot. So, stake everything, Sildra does a self plus 100% defense resistance mine buff. Just by casting that, you can wipe it out. Completely cancels it, removes it, and puts in a debuff in its place. So that's kind of cool. I think it's more useful against... Because it's a wind and dark attack, it's not going to do a whole lot to Sildra. Right. I was just kind of giving an example. Instead, who else does this buff? I think it's Adamantoise, right? God, you have such a big ability table. Yeah. That Adamant Guard thing that Adamantoise does is only a 3-second buff. But, man, I don't even know if that's worth canceling out. Because in order to cancel it out, Ultimecia's USB would have to be cast into this buff. And it only casts 3 seconds, so maybe not that useful. Is there anyone else that this buff shows up on? Medine. Oh, that's a very important one. That's probably the biggest use. For 10 seconds, yeah. Okay. Multiple times, too, right? If I remember correctly. God, it's only been like a week since I did Medine and I've already forgotten it. Yeah, turn 4, the first phase. Defense resistance mine plus 30 or 50% for 10 seconds. Being able to cancel that out is huge. And I'm pretty sure that's not the only time he does that. First turn of the third phase. Yeah, this is a really important debuff cancel for this fight. So Ultimecia's USB 2 is useful for that. It is also instantaneous. Wow, also dispels the target at Brave 3, which is kind of interesting for Medine, because Medine puts shell on himself. So yeah, that's a good soul break for Medine. This is definitely a Medine soul break. Alright. Garland's USB 2, 10 single target. Physical, Dark non-elemental, attack defense plus 30%, and Dark and cast Chaos Impact after using a heavy ability. Multiplier determined by user's heavy charges. So if you use a... What a weird soul break. I'd want it just for something for Garland to use in Final Fantasy 1. And if I had his chain, which I do have his chain, so I would want it, but... I guess it's alright. It's not that great of a soul break. I guess it is a 5-hit chase. What is the multiplier on it? I guess that's the important part. Does it matter if you have 0? It's called Chaos Genocide. Wow. So 1.6, that's fine. Yeah, it's not awful even if you have 0 charges. So it's a good soul, or yeah, it's a good chase. Vayne USB 2 I like a lot more. 10 single target hybrid Dark non-elemental, instant cast 1 to the party, already love it. And Dark and Brave mode. Very simple Brave mode, but instant cast 1 to party. It's hard to argue with that. It's an upgraded version of his Super Soul Break. Golbez Chain, Golbez Glint. Instant Magical Quick Cast and Darkness Rank Boost is like a weak version of Bartz and Renoa. because it has the rank boost on it, but it's only quick cast instead of high quick cast. I guess it's magical quick cast, which is arguably better. So the problem with Bartz and Rinoa is their glints don't affect the cast times of soul breaks. But Golbez's would, because all it needs to do is magical damage. So that's actually not bad. I like it better. Ultimisia's glint, 30% weakness damage and high quick cast too. It's good because she's multi-elemental. I guess it's fine. It's a glint. Now we just run into the awesome LMR section on this banner, which is probably what makes it so attractive. It's not just its fairly good high end. It's Sephiroth, 25% chance to dual cast. Golbez, 25% chance to dual cast. Ultimisia start with Endark, which is awesome for an instant cast non-Endark USB. It turns her into a DPS machine. And Garland start battle with Endark, which is good on him, but not as good as his LMR 1 and 2, I think. Vayne LMR starts in with Endark, and Golbez LMR 1 starts in with Endark, which is extremely good for a chain holder. So this is the Kill Medine and Lakshmi banner. And I don't think that there's another banner that does as good of a job of that as this one. Let's look at some animations. It's really loud. Is that loud for you too? Maybe I need to see the awakening part. It's not that important. Animation was kind of cool, I guess. That was really lame. That wasn't that great either. Oh, wait, that was a Brave. Gotta see the Brave command. Short and sweet. Yeah, I figured as much. Because it's really loud for me too. And I have my speakers turned down pretty low for the stream. Oh, the damn Pyramid Head club thing again. And that was really lame too. And not just because of the weapon. Even your chase is lame. Come on, DNA, you're not aspiring a lot of hype with this banner. That sucks too. The Brave commands have been the best part of these soul breaks so far. Glints are never that exciting. I think Ash had a nice glint. Well, that's banner 1. Since I don't need any of this stuff for Lakshmi or Medine, it hurts it. But it's a good enough banner, especially because I would really like a Generation 2 chain here. Because I don't mind getting help in Final Fantasy 12, in Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 8, and Final Fantasy 4. It's funny that Sephiroth in Final Fantasy 7 is the only Torment that I've sub-30'd here. So what this banner helps out with the most with is not that important to me with Lakshmi, Medine, and Jenova. But I have, since when I first took a look at this banner, I was like, I don't need anything more in Final Fantasy VIII. I think I've turned back on that now, especially after the festival and how Banner 5 blew up in my face. That actually, getting Ultimisi as USB 2 might not be a bad thing, especially because Ultimisi is a Sage, and she can use White Magic, which really frees up a lot of what I want to accomplish in the fight. Or getting protections up, Protecka, Shelga, Peiska. She might actually be a really good character to use there. Let me see. Dispels the target. I don't think that's useful for Garagaro at all. Does give her quick cast. I don't have any magic buffs to give her. Which kind of sucks. I'd be operating completely without magic buffs. No N element, which would be a problem. By itself, getting her LMR would be a pretty big deal. Which kind of sucks. Like, I don't want 2 relics to equal the power I'd be looking for. I'd want 1. I guess her glint would be fine. 30% weakness damage is good. I don't know. It seems like I'm not sure if I can pull here or not. Because I'm probably waiting until Rydia's Awakening to take care of the Final Fantasy IV Torment. I do want Golbez's Chain, but I could also pick up Gabranth's Chain in the next festival. That would be my Generation 2. Yeah, I think I'd probably be passing here. But if I was unable to sub 30 Medine, I would almost certainly be pulling. Just because I want to kill so many Medines that it makes sense to get the extra Arcana, I guess. Plus, to save my sanity. Because there is a big difference between sub 60ing a fight and sub 30ing. It's just so. It's such a chore. Because things tend to fall apart after 30 seconds, so. It's hard to get a consistent sub 60 going. Anyway, what do you guys think about Banner 1? I really like it. I wish. I don't wish that I didn't already. Or I wasn't already able to take out the current stuff, but. You know, you kind of feel like you want to pull on something, but. Accomplishments mean that I can't. Yeah, it's really good if you need dark stuff. It's probably the best dark banner there is. Even next festival doesn't prove to have, or doesn't look like it's going to have a dedicated dark banner. So though the next banner might, or the next festival might have a lot of awakenings and stuff on them, it's not going to do dark as well as this one does. I just hope that awesome things like this occur elsewhere. Is that on the festival at all? Is that Banner 3 that Sephiroth's on? No. They did not put Sephiroth's dual cast LMR on here. Maybe they will for us, maybe they won't. Gabranth Chain is together with Cypher. Oh, well, that's pretty good. But still, that's not that much. We got Dark here, here, here. That's it. It's just you don't get Dark as well as this City event. Cloud Noctis Squall Sephiroth, so Sephiroth's it. And Cloud's here, but his stuff is his Awakening and junk is Wind. And his Glint Plus is Wind. Orlando is... That's it. That's it for Dark. Oh, Golbez USB 2. Which I have bolded here for some reason, even though it debuted in the Dissidia event. That is way too much, Troll. For Medine. That's Odin and 6-star stuff. Right. So the focus of this banner is actually really important. And looking at Banner 2, we have Sephiroth's Arcane's USB 2. Kefka's USB, which is... Why do I keep forgetting what this does? Cast Magitech Blast after using a Dark Attack. Oh, that's a good Soul Break. less CSDX. Luckily, his Dualcast Dark LMR is on the banner. Gabranth USB 2 is a heavy, dark heavy. Exdeath USB 2 is useful for that Brave command. But I don't remember it being anything special. Delta Hole. Oh, it's Imperil Dark. And Quickcast. That's not bad. Especially if you have his Endark LMR. If you have his Endark LMR, that's a really good soul break. which is funny because Medine's rage mode isn't that powerful. Like, it does reduce the damage that you deal, but not by that much. 1/6 damage reduction. So by using a character like Exdeath for that Imperil would make me want to use his Brave command less, because the nice part of Medine's rage mode is that it makes Medine's turns take longer. And Medine has an AI table that you don't want it to blitz through. So the longer its turns, the better. Because it does status effects in like the 4th or 5th turn of phase 2 or something like that. And you want its turns to take longer, so by using the Imperil to help cancel out that damage reduction, I just wouldn't want to break the rage. So that's kind of funny. Use his USB 2, but never use the Brave command. I know for a fact that Kush's USB is good. Unfortunately, it's much better in the Torment than it is as a Magicite Dark thing, because the 8-hit finisher is non-elemental, which works just fine with a Realm Chain, but not with a Dark Chain. Kuja's BSB2 is a little weird here. You don't see BSBs on banners much anymore. And when you do, they're usually pretty damn good, like Squall BSB3 or something. This one's okay. Nothing special, though. Sephiroth Glint, Sephiroth LMR 1, Kefka LMR is Dualcast, Gabranth LMR 1 is Start Within Dark, LMR 2 is Dualcast, I think. Exdeath LMR is Start Within Dark, very good with his USB 2. Kuja LMR Start Within Dark, which is just very good because Kuja's Legend Materia 1 is a reduction in dark damage taken, which doesn't do anything. So having any Legend Materia at all to take over for that is good. All in all, not that... I mean, the banner's fine, but it comes out at the same time as this banner, and it's hard to make a case to go after the second banner when you got this banner. This banner seems like it was forged to force people to chase for this. So I've decided not to pull on this banner. What if I had decided to pull on this banner? I would have gotten burned. I don't even know what that is. I don't know if that's Ultimisi's LMR or Glint. LMR would be better. And that's Golbez's... I don't know if that's LMR or Glint. Oh, they're both LMRs. That's Golbez's Glint, and that's Ultimisi's Glint. I would have gotten burned. Yeah, you're right. No icons. Oh, if I threw 100 mithril at it, I would have been rewarded. I guess we'll never know. Anyway, that's this event is coming in 3 days on Thursday. Questions, comments? How's everyone feel about the new event page format? And why have I not had music going for this entire stream? There we go. Had to choose something Sephiroth-y. No Ice Lucky analysis? Do we know what's on it? I haven't even seen it. Does it have an awakening on it? If not, I can give you my analysis right now. Yeah, where... Does anyone got a link? Give me a link. Hit me up. I want to take a look at it. Well, if it's half price, that does change things. But if it's full price, then yeah. I guess. It's only Lena's glint. It's one of those Cura Medica glints, which kind of... And it's for a realm I've already completed the Torment in, so I may never actually use it. It's 10 mind for Lena for when she eventually gets her awakening. That I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pull on. Right. Rinoa's chain? What? Rinoa and Snow's chains? This sucks. I don't think I can even recommend anyone even touch this for 25 mithril. Even if you don't have a chain, there's just no reason to blow mithril on Generation 1 chains these days. Like, be happy if you get one in a ROP or something, but... Don't willfully go after him. This stinks. Yeah, My favorite chain. Hey, Snow's chain, man. Got me sub 30 in Typhon and Sildra. Totally didn't have anything to do with the rest of the teams being extremely good. Assail and Palom totally didn't carry Typhon. At all. and an Awakening totally didn't kill Sildra. No, 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 no. If it was Renoa's USB 1, it would help the banner, but it's her USB 2. Which is not as good. Squall's USB 2 is extremely good. But that's all I'm seeing here that I really care for. You got Sarah's BSB2 and her LMR. You put Sarah's chain on this banner, shit changes. Yeah, crappy stuff can help you do stuff all the time. Doesn't mean you try to pull for it. You want to pull for better things. Yeah, this is seems like a trap banner. This is not Squall's Brave USB. This is his USB 2, so it wouldn't be a dupe for you. This is much better than his Brave USB, I believe. Oh, you have Sora's Arcane? Yeah. You don't say you have nothing for ice except the most powerful ice thing in the game. It's a very weird thing to say. No pull. Yeah, Sora's Awakening is currently, and at least until next festival, the most powerful ice relic in the game. Probably past that too. I think. Oh, is him or Squall better? What do you think?